so freaking loud. Hello everybody, Janet Urban here, founder of Friends in Film. Welcome to our podcast. The purpose of this podcast is to give you insights that you will not learn anywhere, not in film school, not online, not from anybody, even people on film sets will not know what I'm teaching you because we have studied how to go very fast into the film industry and create a career out of it. And that is what this podcast is about, and that is what the A-List program is about, which is our main flagship program that all these people all over the world are doing to work in the film industry. So enjoy today's podcast, and thank you so much for listening. Today's topic is, how do you reach out to people on LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook in order to make a good impression and get film jobs? Okay, now that is actually a trick question because the answer is you don't. You don't reach out to people cold in the film industry. The reason why you don't reach out to people cold, and cold is when they don't know you, is because that's not how professionals operate. We don't reach out to people cold that we don't know. We get referred to people. So the thing about the film industry is that people don't understand it. They don't understand how to get going. And they do know that it's connection-based. So therefore, they're like, okay, so that means that I need to reach out to people to get on their radar so that they hire me. I don't know what else to do. You tell me that I don't apply for jobs, and you don't apply for jobs, right? You guys all know that because film jobs are not put on any website. Professional jobs, you don't apply for them. It's all people that are calling people that they've worked with in the past. And then you should not reach out to people cold because you're bothering them because they don't know you. Therefore, they have their people already, and you're bothering them. So therefore, it's like, well, what the hell do I do to get into this industry? The thing that people are missing that you don't understand if you have not worked in the film industry is that there is an art to building your career and getting the experience that you need for people to trust that you can do that job on set, in meeting people and getting referred to more and more people, and people feeling comfortable with you and referring you to film shoots. There's an art to this whole thing. There's an art to arriving in the sector that you want to be in, doing the job that you want to do. Like you want to be a director for feature films, there's an art to building that directing career in this connection-based business. It's a lot of get it factor. It's a lot of meeting the right people. It's a lot of shooting your own projects as you are working in the film industry yourself and getting paid. And it's a lot of understanding what it is to be a director, for example. Like knowing that that is responsibility that you are given, people that are paying you to deliver a project, which could be a commercial, could be a feature film with a budget of $1 million, could be a TV show. But as a director, you are given responsibility to deliver that project. And that means that there is a lot of knowledge and experience that you need to have in order to be able to handle that responsibility. So a lot of people want to get the money, they want to get to that place, but they don't realize all of the learning and process of getting that experience in order to be able to do that job. So that's fine. I know that all of us, we're willing to spend the time and to learn the job in detail. We want to learn all this stuff anyway. We want to experience being on film sets and working with people and shooting scenes and being a part of it all. So I understand that. So there's a process to it. So you're coming from a good place. What you don't understand is how to build your career in this connection-based business. Okay, so I want to start with what is reaching out. Reaching out is kind of a nice term. It sounds good, right? You're reaching out to somebody. Hello. And you're reaching out through email. You're reaching out through text message, maybe. You're reaching out through LinkedIn or Instagram. Nothing wrong with reaching out when you know the people already, or you were referred to them, and then you must you must say who the person that referred you. So reaching out is fine. And you will learn how to reach out once you get going in the film industry to keep in touch with people, to follow up with people, to say, how are you doing? To invite people to, an art screening or your screening, or to look at art, or to go together for coffee. Reaching out is great. But reaching out cold when they don't know you is not good, because professionals don't reach out cold. When you reach out cold to people, why are you doing it? It's because you want to get hired, because you want something. And you're reaching out to somebody that has no relationship with you, that's never met you, that doesn't know you, and you're asking for something like a job, an opportunity to meet them, to shadow them, for an internship, but they don't know you. And you don't know anything about them to know if they can even, or if they would even want to give you an opportunity. So you put somebody in a position where they have to say no to you or not respond back to you, and that's not a good thing for you. So it doesn't work, because the opportunities that are out there on film sets are always given to people that they trust, that they've already worked with, that they know how they think, they know how they work, they know what they're like. They like them, and they know that they will do a good job. So any opportunity on a film set is going to go to somebody that they've already worked with. So that's why when you reach out to somebody cold, you're not going to get the opportunity anyway. And in fact, you've gone the opposite way, in that you've made the impression with them that you don't get it. You don't get that. That's not the way that you get opportunities. So therefore, you get remembered, your email or your name gets remembered as somebody that doesn't get it, or somebody that's brand new. The problem with when you don't get it is people remember your name and your email address, and they remember that. They just associate that. They're not thinking too much deeply about this. It's just sort of like, oh, they don't get it, and that's how they remember you. And then that impression doesn't change. In 5 years, they still think the same thing. Oh, there was something about that person. So this is why you don't want to reach out cold to people, because they can't hire you. They don't want to hire you. They don't hire that way. And in a way, you're bothering them, because they are trying to work on their own careers. They're working on their own projects. And the way that people get hired is from the plethora of people, the variety of people, all of the people that are already there on film sets. I love to explain the film set in this way for you guys to understand it so that you can be successful in it. Film sets, who is there on a film set? They have been through what I would call a filtration process, meaning that they are the good ones. They are the ones that have been hired to work on a film set. They are good just because they are there on a film set. Most likely they're getting hired again and again because they are good, they show up on time, they know their job, they understand the rhythm of the set and what is needed on set, they know how to be helpful. So they're the good ones. They're the ones that are going to get hired again and again. These are the people that you need to meet. These are the people that you need to grow your career with. It all happens on film sets. And the reason why I tell you this is so that you understand that what's going on in a producer's mind when you call them is, how come I don't know you? Why haven't I met you on film sets? All of the people that I would choose to be a director assistant or producer assistant or give an opportunity to, I would have met on a film set. So if you can't even manage to get on a film set, then wait until you're on a film set and I meet you that way. All right, so that's fine. That's the way the film industry works. We're not going to fight against it. We're going to go with it, because the film industry is the most amazing industry in the world to work in. It is so much fun. So it works this way. So we need to learn how to work in the film industry the way that it works. We work with how it already works so that we can work in it as well. So we wouldn't get mad that the film industry, oh, that's not fair and they shouldn't hire that way. Well, if you feel that way, then don't work in the film industry. Go work in the corporate world. And then you'll be mad at a bunch of other stuff in the corporate world, because there's a lot of stuff that sucks about the corporate world. Film industry is a business that you get paid money for being an artist, for what you got really good that you can do on a film set that is worth money. And people will pay you for that. So if it takes a little bit more to get into that environment and have people know you and to hire you for this craft that you do, that's awesome. I mean, that's okay. That's like the way that it is and the way that it works. And it's worth it to have to use your resourcefulness and your creativity to be able to arrive on film sets consistently as what you do for a living. So reaching out to people cold is not the best way to go because it can be damaging to your reputation. We don't hire that way. And the way that we do hire is people that are hiring has their lists of people that they've worked with before on previous shoots. And they call those people. So really the question needs to be, how can I get good enough to get on other people's lists so that they hire me and that I can work with these people that are hiring people for film shoots? That's really the question to have. How can I properly learn how to get connected into this connection-based business? This is a process that I teach. I've got a very unique way that I teach of getting people experience where they're doing tasks that are similar to what you do on set and actually getting on shoots to build experience in all these different departments so that you start to understand the film set and that you are offering value on the film set. And the combination of this phase that I call phase one, it's called getting in the door, gets you production jobs over other people, where people now call you over all these other people that are reaching out to people cold. They call you for jobs. You work your way in there in a connection-based business. How else could it work? It's a connection-based business. You have to work your way in there. You don't apply for jobs. You don't call people cold and get opportunities. It doesn't work this way. This is because the film industry is such a trust-based business. Every single shoot day is, on my commercial sets, $100,000. That's a lot. $100,000, the more than what most people's house is. So therefore, it has to go smoothly. You have to have people that know what they're doing. This is not the place for people that have never been on a film set, brand new people. So you need to get your own experience first in order to qualify yourself to be able to now be trusted with being on a film shoot that's $100,000 a day. Another reason why you don't want to reach out to people cold is you're asking them to do all the work. You're asking them to give you a job. There's no benefit for them that you're calling them. You're not calling them to give them any paid work. You're not helping them in you're not helping them in any way. You're asking them to do you a favor when they don't know you and to give you a job when they don't even know how you're going to show up on set, if you know what you're doing, what experience you have, if you're a nice person, if you're going to show up on time, if you're going to make mistakes on set that could really hurt their reputation and their career because they brought you in. It's just not going to happen. So what you want to do is you want to be making your own career happen yourself. You want people that hire you to have heard about you and then be asking if you're available. You want to, in a way, make work come to you by being good. And instead of pursuing people and asking them to give you an opportunity when they really don't want to do that. The film industry is very peer-to-peer. I'm working professional, you're working professional. I heard about you, maybe we should work together sometime. That's how people feel comfortable in hiring you. Oh my God, I'm so excited. I've always wanted to work with you. Yay! This is what you want to hear on set. Not, hey, I'm brand new. I know you don't know me, but if there's any opportunity to bring me in and hire me, let me shadow you, I would love the opportunity. It doesn't work that way. So first of all, you're asking them to give you an opportunity when they don't know you, you're not referred to them, and you're reaching out to them when obviously, professionals don't do that. They will feel so much more comfortable when it's peer-to-peer. Hey, I'm already working in MTV. I heard about you. You're doing a lot of great stuff out there. I love this show that you just finished. And so you're a peer reaching out to another person that's a peer. And that's the way that people feel comfortable. So if you know somebody in the business and you're brand new and you don't have any experience yourself, wait. Don't reach out to them. Wait until you're already on film sets yourself. And then reach out to them. This can happen super fast, especially if you do my program. You can be working on MTV shoots very quickly, like within a couple months. And then you can reach out to them saying, hey, I'm working on MTV. My mother said I should reach out to you. I know that you're working on this show. I'd love to get together. I'd love to do coffee. At that point, now it's good for them to do coffee with you. Now it's worth it because you're not asking anything from them. It's more like you're already going with your career, and then maybe they would like to meet you. It's like you're already going with your career, and then it's easy for them to now refer you because you're already working with people, possibly people that they know on shows that they know. You've been through that filtration process. Now people will say yes to you. Now, what if you want to shadow somebody? A lot of people say, oh, I'd love to shadow a director or a producer. Of course you would, but that's also not the way that it really works in the film industry. So you're not going to have people on set that are shadowing the DP and the director and the producer that are not paid unless it was set up like it's the son of the producer and it's their whole show, so they're allowing that to happen. Maybe they're paying them something so that they are covered under insurance. But it's very rare that even people in the business, they don't bring in their sons and their daughters and have them shadow them. So asking if you can shadow somebody on set is not typically the way that it goes because these sets are all businesses and everybody there has a job and is covered under insurance. Then there's something to be said for wanting somebody to show you everything when you haven't really done anything for yourself. The people that I like to talk business with are already working on film sets themselves. They're already working in the craft. They've already done a lot for themselves in that they've worked on free projects. They've worked on shorts. They're working in the craft. Maybe they've invested in some equipment. Those are the people that I want to talk to and teach. But I don't want to have somebody shadow me that hasn't done anything for themselves. So if you have done something for yourself and you're already involved in the business, then everybody's going to open their arms to you a lot more than if you're just asking for something when you haven't done that much for yourself. This is actually very common. Just on a shoot at Warner Brothers, I was talking to a production assistant. He's like, yeah, my friend really wants to work on film sets. And he really wants to get in the business. So is there any way that you can help him? And I was like, well, what has he done? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, okay, I want to see him working his frickin' ass off, learning the craft. Like, I want to see him out there in the desert working on shoots and working on promos and working on press junkets and, being a professional. And then I'm interested in having conversations with other professionals, but not somebody that wants me to show him all the ropes and do everything for him. And that the way that I feel is the way that a lot of people in the film industry feel. Like, you need to have done a lot for yourself in order for somebody to want to open that door. And in fact, the people that I'm going to really train and talk and mentor and start to teach while I'm on film sets, they're already on film sets. They're already the good ones that are there working really hard on their career. And because they're there and they're interested in a certain craft, now I'm interested in teaching them because they're there watching, asking intelligent questions, and they're the ones that I would want to have that conversation with. But somebody that's outside the business that wants to get in it, that's looking for somebody to teach them everything, everybody that's a professional would be running away from people like that because you're not showing up looking very good when you do that. Now, I understand when you're starting off, you're like, I know, but I don't know what to do and I don't have things going for me yet. So what should I be doing? And well, that's why I have my program. It's called Craft Certification. And it shows you how to get experience by doing jobs that are similar to set so that you can get qualified to do these jobs on set, where you're handling responsibility. You're working very hard for a company to take an event and bring it to fruition. You're figuring out problems. You're problem solving. And you're also bringing a great attitude. You're showing that you can get hired again and again by companies and you become valuable. So you actually become valuable, and now the film industry is going to be interested in you. So this is the very first phase of my program. It's very valuable and it's very opposite of what you think. Because you think that your ideas are going to get you into the film industry and get people opening their doors. But actually, you're finding that that's probably not happening. And that's why you're following this podcast and following me, because you're like, I got great ideas, but I can't get these doors to open. But the first step is to become an amazing freelancer that handles lots of responsibilities, knows how to invoice, knows how to navigate a freelance world and get hired by people and become in demand. And now you become somebody like, oh yeah, you're just a shoo-in for the film industry. So this is a process that I teach in my craft certification program. If you want to learn it, just sign up for our free mini course. So go to friendsandfilm.com/join. That's friendsandfilm.com/join. And then you can sign up for a mini course and you will start to learn this process that actually gets you working as a professional in the film industry in a craft like cinematography, like directing, like writing, like sound, like hair or makeup or costume design or production design. The great life, the travel around the world working with a film crew, this is when you know a craft. And it's possible. You can work in a craft, but you have to be, unlike the millions of film school students and the millions of people that want to work in the business and are trying to pitch their ideas to professionals cold. You have to do it in a much smarter way. You have to do it in the way that the film industry works, which is a connection-based business. And it's not obvious. It's not anything like how you get a job in the regular world. It is you blazing a trail in a freelance business that is all film shoots and a whole bunch of people. So this process is not tangible. It's not like linear even. 1, 2, 3. Like one thing leads me to the next person, the next person, the next shoot. No, it's not linear at all. It's very organic and personality-based and people-based and conversation-based, but a lot of belief-based too. Like you have to believe in yourself the entire time while you are building it. If it seems hard and you feel like you get a little frustrated listening to me, like, why can't it just be easier? Be glad that it's not so easy, because everybody in the world wants to work in the film industry. When you crack this code and you can work in it, you've got something really special that most people cannot do. So it's another subject, but film schools are putting out over 1 million people a year. 1 million. They're just churning out film school students that now want to become directors. And a tiny, tiny percentage of them will actually work in the film industry. So that's crazy. Like all these people are studying to work in the film industry, but only a tiny, tiny, tiny fraction will even work as a production assistant on a film set. And then an even tinier fraction are going to actually work as a director. And the opportunities to direct will not come from the film school, the fact they went to film school. It will come from their ability to navigate the film industry in the way that I'm teaching you and take on that responsibility of being a director. All of the knowledge, all of the understanding, all of that whole pathway that you will take to become a director will be what will make you a director. And it's a very vast amount of knowledge and experience and belief in yourself and amazing ideas that will result in you getting directing jobs. It will be you that gets the directing jobs, not the fact that you went to film school. It will always be you. So if it sounds like that it's hard, that it's daunting, know that, yes, directing is something. Like that is you responsible for a lot of money. And you will have known a lot by that time. But at the same time, there is a ton of jobs on a film set, and the pathway to become a director or a cinematographer or a production designer is amazing, and it is fun, and you are paid the entire way if you do it the way that I'm teaching you. So it's worth it, and you should do it, and it will blow away any job in the regular world. So it's worth it. Just know that all of the uncertainty of getting there, it's all part of it, and it's fine. It's like just what you do to get into a connection-based business. You're blazing your trail in a connection-based business. Okay, so my main message to you is don't reach out to people cold. Professionals don't do that. They want to see people that are already working professionals, and then you make it much easier for them to hire you. How you make your impression with people is everything. It's your entire career. If you don't get it when you're first starting, You're not going to get it later, and you can really hurt yourself if you show up that way. So do it the way that it works in the film industry. Make people, have it be easy for them to say yes to you. And just know that this is not a linear process. This is a lot of meeting people, conversation, positioning yourself to get opportunities, and having your own back the entire time. Because what you're doing, it's not easy, it's not hard, but it is worth it. And it is how you make a career, an artistic career in the entertainment industry. Okay? So thank you so much for listening, everybody, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks so much for listening. And if you want to take your career to the next level in the film industry, go to friendsinfilm.com/join. That's friendsinfilm.com/join. You can sign up for our mini course, learn about the A-list model, and then you can take it all the way and do the A-list program. So that's friendsinfilm.com/join. Thanks so much for listening. Have a great day, everybody.